What's up, YouTube? Today on the channel, we hit infinite. Took about a week, and we used a very interesting deck. Normally, I make my own decks on this channel. I find it really fun to do so, but after getting stuck in the 90s, I took a look at this awesome Darkhawk Supergiant list that I'm going to get into from Dekkster's channel. If you don't know him, Dekkster is one of the best Marvel Snap YouTubers out there. I will link his channel down below. But let's get into the elevator pitch on how this deck works. This is your classic Rocks Darkhawk deck. The big difference here is tuned for this meta. Supergiant helps you stop a lot of the end of turn decks and just other things. Sarah, MODOK, things that people want to play on turn 5, they really can't do. So that is what this deck is doing. It's countering some of the meta, it's putting out a bunch of power, and then getting priority, keeping it, winning games with Goliath, Negasonic, and Blink. Really cool Blink package that Dekkster introduced. So that's the elevator pitch. Let's go card by card. Before we get in depth, if you'd like the videos, please subscribe to the channel for more deck guides and a weekly Marvel Snap podcast that I do with my brother-in-law called Snap Crackle Pod. But anyway, starting off here with Korg. Of course, in Darkhawk, this is just a great early way to get the rock train going, get priority by playing a 1-drop. Definitely an auto include. Hydra Bob. I've always been a little hesitant to play this card just because I don't like it moving around, but sometimes, first of all, the priority is too good to ignore. A 1/4 is great when you need priority, like in this deck. And on top of that, sometimes you're able to actually use its downside as an upside for you, moving into lanes that you couldn't otherwise access, changing the priority at the end of the game for a Goliath or Negasonic play. So Hydra Bob is definitely core, and I couldn't really imagine playing the deck without him. Pedro, Mr. Fantastic First Steps. This card is, everybody I think knows by now, is just too good. Too many stats, enables too many plays you couldn't otherwise do. I got 2 Pedros down in this gameplay at one point and just had like 3/8 blinks, and I mean, just nuts. This card is just too good, especially on curve when you don't have a lot of other options at 2 in a Darkhawk deck. Surge along those lines does kind of the same thing. I actually find Surge quite a bit weaker actually than Pedro, and I'm not sure what else I would run. Dekkster, I think, suggested Grandmaster in his video, and I could do that, but this deck was successful enough that I definitely want to stick with what I have for right now, but could see you putting Grandmaster there if you don't have Surge. Makari, this card was actually like incredibly good. When you want priority for things like Terrax and Goliath and Negasonic, Makari coming down whenever you don't have a 1-drop on turn 1 or just later in the game, very clutch. Negasonic, this card didn't go off as much as I would have liked, but it helps whenever you don't see Goliath and at the end of the game you want to hit a Supergiant target. It's really good there. It's best in decks where things are telegraphed, but when you see those, Negasonic's definitely, a good card in a priority deck. Then you got Terrax. This is a new card that I think a lot of people underrate. I still think that people rate it too low. Darkhawk is a deck that I initially was not sure would be strong enough because those end of turn decks put out so much power, but the fact is, these rocks are disruption in addition to being Darkhawk power, and that matters. It's 1, or sometimes with Terrax, 3 less chances of them seeing their Invisible Woman or their Prodigy or Fantasticar or whatever it is. That's how you limit their power, not by tech, Shang-Chi. In this deck, it's because of your rocks and sometimes Goliath. But this card did its job. A lot of times I was putting 2 or 3 rocks into the deck. I never really ran into many situations where I didn't want to play it because I didn't have board control. And over time that might bear out differently, but for now, Terrax was a pleasant surprise. Rock Slide, this card still does its job really well. Consistent 2 rocks. I mean, it's 4 cost and that can hurt, but we don't have a lot of 4 options in this deck if you don't see Supergiant. In fact, it's just this and Supergiant. So the other thing I could see you playing is Stardust. Actually, were a couple times where I would have liked to have it, but overall, I mean, the rocks this provides, it's good. Supergiant, this card is the meta killer right now. So many tricky plays you can do with it. My favorite is Supergiant into Blink. Dekkster talked about this in his deck video as well. It enables you to then, play a 5 and a 1 on turn 6, or if you have something discounted by Pedro, even an Alioth and a 1, and then that 1 will get blinked back into something else like a Darkhawk or whatever you have left in your deck. This card just is very disruptive. You will see it in the video, and just leads to a lot of retreats actually, which is good. Sometimes you need that. But love Supergiant, always have. Used to play it in a Loki deck with Absorbing Man and Alioth, and I'm glad to be able to play it again. I've played a lot of Supergiant tech decks on my climb up to the 90s, and they stopped working hardcore in the 90s. So being able to still use Supergiant to counter the meta, but in this Darkhawk shell was great, so thank you, Dekkster. Then you got Darkhawk. This card, obviously it's a Darkhawk deck, but you don't always have to play it. It does help. It is nice to put under a Supergiant and make it harder for them to know how to kill it with Enchantress or Shang-Chi. Otherwise, you can also play it on turn 6, like I said, with that blink play, or sometimes you can blink it into play. So there's a lot of ways to circumvent his obvious weaknesses to things like Shang-Chi and Enchantress and Rogue, but I love this card. It gets way bigger than any right to. And I always think back to that funny moment when this was one of the first early cards added to the game, and everybody thought it was terrible, and of course ended up being one of the best cards in the game, had to be nerfed. Blink. I already mentioned a little bit how this works. You'll see it in the gameplay, but this card actually did a great job. Make sure you have a deck tracker or keep a really good idea of what your deck is if you have Blink, because you don't want to play this, think that you're getting something back, and realize that you don't have any good Blink targets left in your deck. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, Alioth, the big purple cloud. This card is still so good, especially in a Supergiant deck where you can, even if you don't have priority at the end of the game, you can hit their Supergianted cards, and that's really strong. So Alioth, awesome. Not much else to say. Went a little too in-depth there, but that's the deck. These games are so much fun. I really flew through to Infinite. I'm going to show you the stats right now. I went 24 and 13 across the 37 games that I played with this deck, and even less than that tonight recording this video. 65% win rate just about, and yeah, what else can you say? This deck flew. We'll see how it does in Infinite, but I'm just honestly glad to get there, and it was super fun. So give it a try. Check out this gameplay, and then I'll be back to wrap things up. We got Sam Wilson. Haven't seen that in a minute. Okay, so nothing to play, but we will have Makari hit the board, which is good for priority. That's extra good for Terrax. So if they're going to play Sam, it's probably going to be on Rocket Pad. Yeah, I'm going to play Pedro over here. Mercury. That's good. That means we can Terrax for 3 now. That's the play. Or we just Surge or Negasonic, but I think I want to Terrax, and I think with Darkhawk in hand, I'm just going to snap. Likely a Cannonball deck. I mean, Mercury, almost definitely. Good news is if we see Alioth, that's going to be really good on Dark Dimension. Negasonic also. Maybe we just want to Negasonic and Surge. Okay, there's Sam. So Surge is what I played last, so if I were to blink, it would bring back either Rock Slide or Alioth. And since Cannonball's going to be in play, maybe I want a Darkhawk over here. I mean, they could still move their Mercury. They're going to move the shield this turn, so I don't think they're going to play Cannonball this turn. Maybe we just hide it under Dark Dimension. I'm gonna go right. Okay. Okay, so now if we play Blink and then Supergiant, we're guaranteed to get a Goliath from the Negasonic. Or we could Supergiant Blink and hit Goliath over here to protect from a cannonball play. But I don't think that's enough to win middle or right. Maybe it's just Supergiant here, Blink here. I think that's the best shot. Okay, so maybe they didn't draw a cannonball with all the rocks we threw. Cosmo. Alright, so now we just have to win middle with the Goliath play and Negasonic. Well, Negasonic's gone, but let's see if that's good enough. That's good. It's really good. Okay. Alright, we'll happily play a Korg. Get Makari and Crimson Cosmos, ideally. Nice. It's great for priority. Now we play Pedro middle in case we draw Terrax. Let's do a little spread. There's the rock. Instant results. Gamma Lab. We could take out a potential Hulk for them here. Okay. Interesting. So end of turn deck. So Supergiant's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Terrax would be great. There we go. Real shot at 3 on Terrax here, depending on what this is. Okay, so we won't hit 3, but we get 2. I guess this is better. Okay, now Supergiant. Yeah, we'll Supergiant. Did they get the Prodigy off? I bet. No, Sunspot. Okay. So I'm thinking Darkhawk Can't. Okay. Guess Darkhawk here then. Do I just want to rock slide so that I can play Darkhawk here on turn 6? I don't think so. I think we want to play Negasonic on 6 to get one of their Supergiant cards. Maybe. Okay. Okay, so can't really do blink. What would that even hit right now? Supergiant. Into Goliath. I think we just lose this lane. So maybe we move this over. We can snipe this card. And then rock slide. And then Hydra Bob will move to the middle. Oh, wait. Rock slide goes to Asteroid M, so does Negasonic. So maybe... Kind of screwed ourselves. Dang. Dumb Asteroid M. Maybe. Okay. Woo, Hydra Bob for the win. Okay. There was an argument for playing it here just so I can get Terrax off for 3. But ooh, I should have played it on Oscorp Tower and snapped. Okay, so we got 2 into their deck. They've not played anything yet through the first 3 turns. And with Supergiant, it feels like we have to snap. Especially if they were planning on like playing Sarah or something on 5. Ooh, Iron Lad Door Rock. Come on, Hydra Bob. Guess we'll just get Darkhawk going here. If they want to snap back and free up that lane for me, they can. I wouldn't be upset. Okay. So are we just Goliathing this lane? This has to be Shang-Chi or Enchantress to take out the Darkhawk, pretty much. And they played 2 cards, so that's a little more unlikely. Okay. Well. Venom, maybe? I think we beat a Venom, depending on what this is. It's Carnage or something? Yeah. Okay. I think we're still good. Danger's playing Nimrod with Stardust around. Alright. They have a Makari. I need to get some Jin going, I think. Okay, their Galactus is growing. Ooh. It's a lot of energy. I mean, we know they're gonna go all out there. So maybe we just Rock Slide, Surge, Jin, Terrax. Is that crazy? Try to take 2. Okay. So Supergiant isn't too bad here. Where to play it though? Maybe here? Set up the rock for a blink. Oh, they pass. Wow. So now they can't use their Jin, which is good because we can Darkhawk here and set up for a Negasonic to take out the Galactus. They can use the Jin on Nidavellir to stop that play. Galactus still in hand, I guess. So Blink would bring in either Alioth where the rock is, or Makari. Darkhawk here. This would take out Galactus if they played it here. Also have 2 other cards there, so they could just not play Galactus and let Dracula eat it, which means they're probably going to win that lane. So let's do this. And that gives us a chance at left 2 lanes and let them win the right with Galactus on Drac. Depends on what these 2 cards are. Maybe they're just Jin. Okay. Nice. And there's the Galactus. Okay. Hydra Bob goes in Fisk Tower, so he's less likely to move there. Unless there's 2 snaps, then he can. Pedro goes here. Okay, Corvus, not a great hit for them. Guess they're trying to draw. Okay. Supergiant's real good against discard, and they have not played much at all. So let's just guarantee a draw here for us. I mean, hold on, they're not going to play there anyway, right? So let's go priority. Drac. Okay. Well, they can't play MODOK at least. Well, they can, but not proactively. The only blink target left in the deck is Alioth, which we might draw. So that means I'm going to go Darkhawk. We'll go... here. And then so Alioth is available in a blink. I think they're less likely to play MODOK here, so I guess we just Korg blink. Nah. Should have Alioth over there, I guess. Well, let's see what this hits. Khonshu, really? Proxima. Okay. That's a wash. Let's see if Darkhawk's enough. Okay. Alright, yeah. We got it. Do we want to surge into Gamma Lab? No, we don't. I think we want to ignore Gamma Lab. Let them make that their Hulk. Why would they throw away Victoria Hand? We can get some Hulks there, that's fine. I mean, I think we could still compete. They figure the Victoria Hand, so they'll have another to play. So Darkhawk could still maybe take that lane. Just gonna Supergiant. Darkhawk. Hoping they don't play in Gamma Lab right now, because then I can play Negasonic there. Wait. Can I? Actually, I do. I hope they do play something in Gamma Lab with the Supergiant, because then Negasonic can take it out. Okay. Maybe just taking one of them. Okay. Okay, what do we want to do with our 6 energy? Just Pedro and Rock Slide, I assume. Makari middle would be nice. Cerebro 2. Not our best matchup. We have a Goliath. Okay. Ooh. Crown City lets us take 3 rocks with Terrax. Not gonna snap because they could Cerebro in their Pegasus lane. So let's Invisible Woman, or do we Surge? I don't think Surge does that much for us. We're just going stats. Okay. Where are they gonna play Goliath or play Cerebro? Let's see. Magic. If this is Cerebro, I'll be very happy. Okay. Can still snipe Cerebro with a Negasonic. If we know where they're going to play it. Maybe they never even drew it. Okay. We did it. I think the Terrax rocks really helped us get there. Take the boosters, you deserve them. Hope you enjoyed that gameplay video of us hitting Infinite with this awesome Dekkster deck. Please come on back for more deck videos in the future. We got new cards releasing. I got a podcast coming out at some point this week. Yeah, absolutely love making these videos for you guys. Please subscribe and like and comment down below. I respond to every single comment. That's all the time I have for today in this video. Later.